go do it. You know, and that's kind of stop being a bitch about it, what he almost said. I think he may have even said it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know why I drew that from everything else he was talking about, but that was kind of like the thing that kind of pushed me, at least for that moment. Just saying, man, like, look, man, you gotta start doing these things. You know, when I start, but you know, these things that you're thinking about currently, just do them and make them happen and stop being afraid of the unknown or what might happen, especially if it's not gonna necessarily set you back.
I agree 100%. Where are you at in your faith right now? Where's your faith at?
Faith in what I'm trying to do?
Faith, just like your faith, period, man, with life, dog, with what your ambitions are. You know, with music, with this podcast, with everything you got going on, man. Like, even like faith is real good. Mm-hmm. It's easy to see, like, when everything is going great, but when things aren't going as great, you know, like, where's your faith lie?
That's real. I'm at about 77%.
77%?
Odd number.
Let's cheers it up.
Yeah, we're going to cheers it up to that.
Odd number.
That's where it is.
What do you mean is that 77%? How so?
There's a point at which when I'm not doing or working on what I want to work on, that I don't feel it. And I always attribute that to the fact that I'm just not in it at the moment. When you are forced to do something, well, not forced to do something, when you are presented and pushed into a situation where you have to do something to survive, to live, to thrive, and so-called succeed by certain people's standards, and that's taking you away from what it is that you feel like you want to do or should be doing, it kind of reduces the percentage of I guess, faith that you feel that you are at, you know, and that's kind of where I am, especially during the daytime. You know, I do have downtime to do what I want to do and make certain moves, but the longer I'm away from it and not in it, even just thinking about it, but not being hands-on with it, kind of takes away from it.
So it's like, you're really not doing it, so you feel like your faith is like dwindling by.
Yeah.
So it's like, so for instance, like with your music, so if you're not doing something every night or every other night or twice a week, whatever it is you do, whatever your routine is, if you go like a week without doing something or a couple days without doing something, you're like, man, maybe I won't be like the next Timberland.
Even more so, if I go 8 straight hours without doing it, it's starting to dwindle.
Really?
Yeah.
8 hours?
That's serious. Yeah, it's not like riding a bike. It's
that's a little nuts though.
It is. It's crazy. And it's probably overkill. It's me just as my personality would have it. That's just me. It's not like I don't know how to do it. Like I get back on the board and be like playing it like this and shit like that. But you know, it only It only takes that long for me to feel like I'm not. I always feel like there's somebody somewhere doing something.
You should be doing something too.
To that degree, on that same level, but I'm not doing.
Well, I guess what our passions are, man. I guess we gotta have like strong enough the faith, or just the feeling that if we don't do something, then like we don't feel whole, in a way. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. And I don't want to make it seem like, because we are sitting here doing the podcast right now. I do have confidence in it and what we're doing and what we're building, but every moment that I'm not able to sit down and do, like if I come up with an idea, but I'm confined by something else, it's stressful for me.
Okay.
It's like, yo, I can't.
So you talking about like you at work, right? And then you think about the podcast or you think about music, and your work getting in the way because your mind over here on something where your mind want to be at. Work, you just got to be there to support yourself. Sometimes you thought about just getting up and just leaving?
I have.
Did you do it?
I have.
You got up and came back?
Yes.
All right.
I made a track on lunch break.
Okay.
or worked on a mix at lunch break. I'm in a position where I have the liberty to kind of do that. You know, just given a few different other factors, but I have an opportunity to be able to do that. But I know that's not the case. And even for me, in past experiences, past positions, I couldn't really do that.
Yeah.
You know, but as fate would have it, I have an opportunity to just move away from that for a minute. This thing is on my mind.
Right.
You know, without like telling people that, oh, I have to go do, you know, it's just more like, I'm gonna go do this.
Right.
Let me check off about 30 minutes.
True.
Do this, boom, and then, you know, come back and try to get back in that mode, but it's hard to do. But, you know, inspiration hits when it hits. Crazy thing is, you know, some people have a routine. Go, get up, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, do a little something, go to bed.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get back and do it all over again.
Right.
Inspiration hits when it wants to hit. Inspiration punch you in the face at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Get up and do whatever you need to do.
What you gonna do? You gonna get up and work on that idea, or you gonna stay in the bed because you know you need to sleep to deal with the job that you have to go to in the morning?
Yeah, man.
That's, to me, that's where my faith
Which
is
one
tested.
you choose?
I definitely lose the sleep.
You lose the sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say every single time. I'm not gonna sound like one of them super like creative robots and just do what I want to do.
Right.
There's some times where I compromise, but the majority of the time, about 80% of the time, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get up. Even with this podcast, I done jumped up and, you know, punched in the tags, description, and all that when we uploading on a Monday night. I've been up.
or even thinking about getting up to do it. You know what I'm saying? I always like anticipated and like look forward to it. But after like a long day, man, myself, I might work anywhere between 10 and 12 hours a day. Then we're doing a podcast, and it's like, man, 7 o'clock I'm good, 8 o'clock I'm good, 9 o'clock around, for it's time for me to come over here. I'm like, man, I'm a little beat now. You know what I'm saying? But after I leave, and it's like, I'm always glad I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So with that said, and you kind of answered it a little bit for me, but I want to expound on it. So where does your faith lie currently when it comes to the endeavors that you want to get into, that you've spoken about, you know, podcasts included?
Yeah.
I guess, where are you at with it?
Faith is there. The faith is real strong. Like, because I really wholeheartedly believe in like cryptos, man. I think cryptos are gonna like help set the common man free, you know, and give like freedom and power back to those individuals, you know. And that's anybody outside of like the infrastructure, like the banking system, the big people, the 1%ers, you know. It's a lot. It's like shoot, man, I think it's like a third of the world that actually don't have like checking accounts or not banked. You know, you think there's a lot of third world countries out here, you know, and these people don't have checking accounts.
Right.
They don't have means to send money from here to over there.
Right.
You know, so once but they all have, everybody got a cell phone everywhere.
Somehow, some way.
And what's so great about cryptocurrency is, man, all you need is an app and a cell phone.
That's right.
And that's it. And you're good to go, man.
And a connection.
And a connection.
Yeah.
And it's empowering people, you know, like that. You know, and it's like, it's kind of sad to see like the crypto market down. It was at like $840 something billion, and now it's down like low 300 billions right now. So Bitcoin went from like 20 grand, I think it was like late December, to like right now it had touched like 6,500. Now it's bouncing around low like 82, 8,300 right now as we talk. You know, so that's a big swing, and like my account lost over 50%. You know, and it's like, so at times I bought a little bit more, and then I bought a little bit more, but now like today it's like I want to buy a little bit more, but then it's like, okay, do I just sit still, or do I just keep the money, keep the cash that I got over here, because I think I might have to use this cash soon. I don't want to put it in here,
Right.
but at the same time, I so believe in like what I have and like my investments that's down, you know, substantially,
Right.
you know, since like this past December. But I won't say it because I'm thinking about the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, like say for instance, like when the bull run kicks back in and it goes way higher than the highest it's ever been.
Right.
You know. Think about like where I could be and what that could do for my life.
Right.
You know, so that's where my eyes are at. You know, so it's like, okay, I feel like in a way like I'm suffering now. Like every time I look at like my account, like
compared to where it was.
Compared to where it was.
Right.
Now I'm kind of like, well, I'm thinking now like, okay, maybe another month, maybe another 2 months.
Yeah.
You know. It could be really different. You know, when I say really different, I mean maybe like 10-fold different, 15-fold different. Yeah. You know, and at that point, that's life changing right there. So, at the other hand, is that it can all go down to zero, right? Because nothing is for sure.
You're right. Yeah, you gotta look at the. I guess if you gotta look at the upside, you gotta
be the downside too.
Yeah.
Since I don't think it's gonna go to zero, right? My faith is in the reason why it exists. Okay. So hopefully I'm right, and a bunch of other crypto enthusiasts, you know, that I follow, you know, stuff that I read or listen to a podcast or video, because like, hey, like it can really be great, you know. So my faith is strong, probably stronger than ever, you know, but that doesn't mean I don't feel weak sometimes.
Yeah, you know? I feel you have those spurts.
Yeah,
like, I mean, even on a lesser scale, like just having that doubt, I guess you would say, like, well, maybe not doubt, but necessarily just kind of like the fear of the unknown, so to speak. Yeah. Like, yeah, that exists, and that's a real thing outside of just business endeavors and things like that. I mean, just some people just don't think like, okay, well, I got this interview for this job. I might not go in there and perform well.
For sure.
Whatever the case may be, you know. I can't tell you how many times that, you know, the ebb and flow of like being creative and all that, like, if I was a different type of person, like, I probably would have done some sort of harm to myself or something like that, man. Because sometimes I'll be thinking I'm the wackest out. Like, what is this? This fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sometimes it do suck. Now, sometimes we are stupid in the moment.
Yes, we are. Yeah. And then, you know, one thing I have to always do is remind myself of the great times or great moments that I had. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of, I guess that's kind of like a faith exercise. Like, all right, here's the test. You know, like, you done this, but I'm gonna put you in a rut where you feel like you ain't nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, and then you just gotta kind of remind yourself, like, okay, I've been through this, I've done this. In my case, I've created this, I've accomplished this with that. You know, and sometimes, man, I sit back and listen to stuff I did 6-7 years ago. Okay. Just be like, this ain't as good as I am right now, even as bad as I am right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, my good back then is terrible compared to my bad right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
And feed off that.
That makes you think, like, beer. That even, like, the ruts, man, we should... What if we found, like, ourselves in a rut, and instead of being down... Like, as soon as we realize that we in a rut, psychologically, we said, hey, this is a great place we in right now, right? Because this is like a building center, you know, for me to regroup, you know, it's like to get over this. You know, it's an opportunity to try and think clearly and recognize what's wrong, you know, with even my logic. Yeah. You know, so it's like, you think about, like, under stress, it's like people that get be comfortable as hell. You know, they're not pushing themselves. No. Only people that grow is when they put themselves under pressure, or something puts them under pressure. That's the only way you grow.
Back yourself into a corner. Yeah. Somewhere that you've never been before.
Yeah, exactly, dog. And then you swing out. See what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you got to. Because if you don't, then, like you said, you'll be content. And you just be riding that wave. Yeah. Not even a wave. The straight line. Yeah. That is your existence. You know what I'm saying? You got to push yourself, do things to create yourself a better situation, or put yourself in a better situation, or position to put yourself in a better situation.
True.
You gotta make something happen. True. That's always the line too, because you'll get into a situation where you came from somewhere, elevated to another level, and you like, it's never been as good. Let me just
sit back and be in awe.
And that's fine for a while.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm a firm believer in the fact that you can't just always keep looking up or out at the next level. You have to stop and think about the things that you accomplished, where you came from, where you are, and you have to bask in the glory of what is now. Yeah. But you can't sit there, and you can't just soak in it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I kind of got that problem where I'm always looking. And I've been telling myself for the past couple of weeks, man, I didn't even think we talked about this in the anxiety episode. where I'm like, man, I need to just enjoy like the moment sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where I think a lot of grace is at, you know, just like good. Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. That's cool. And that's just something I know that I deal with. You know,
you always want to deal. You always want to be looking to expand or upgrade, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you do have to recognize and enjoy where you are currently, because again, this is an accomplishment. You don't want to overlook what you've already accomplished.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't want to overlook what you've accomplished for looking at what you're trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll miss it.
True.
You know, it's almost like the midlife crisis thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're so busy looking at what you don't have instead of appreciating what you do.
Quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
Third life crisis, dog. Things is real, man.
Damn.
I think so.
Really? So
somebody get like 30, they be tripping. Like, oh my God, I never did this. I want to do this. You know, I missed out on this. You know, my 20s sucked. My 30s, oh my God, they got to be so much better. You know what I'm saying? People go through stuff like that.
Yeah, they do. To individualize that.
Yeah, I'm gonna divorce my spouse and I'm gonna get me a young person and it's gonna be all gravy. You know, they don't have nothing in common. You know what I'm saying?
Or that's really not what you need to do.
Or that's not what you need to do.
It's your fault. You know
yeah. But people's minds go there though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true. It's only funny because I'm not going through it. Yeah. No, it happens. That was funny, but it's but no, that's completely valid. I don't think that and the more you like, I think the more that people, I guess the more you are like really like believing in what you believe in, or the faith that you have in what you are doing, I think the crazier you probably will look and sound to people around you.
Yeah.
You know, some people will support you or at least say they do, but it may not be that genuine.
Yeah.
You know, like, honestly, I don't talk to a whole lot of people about what I'm into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might, on the surface,
will
say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm in. But we're not going to go into too great a detail.
Right.
Because either you're not going to understand it, or it's just really not nothing for it. Like, well, ain't nothing to talk about. Like, what are we going to talk about it for? For what? Like, it's not helping either one of us for us to have this conversation.
True that.
You know what I mean? Just that unnecessary talk. Like, I'm not a big talker, really. I mean, I'm not afraid of talking about
introvert.
Yeah. But it's just like, I feel like words is like money to me. Like, I'm not just going to keep on spending it unnecessarily. Yeah. Like, if this conversation is not leading anywhere,
I like that.
I don't fuck it. I mean,
I like that.
That's the first time I said it. But like, if what we're talking about is not going anywhere, I mean, if we just friends or something, we just shooting the shit or whatever, that's different.
Yeah.
But if I'm just willy-nilly talking to everybody that I run into about every little thing, I feel like it's taken away from what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right,
essentially, in a nutshell, metaphorically, taking money out of my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just spending money unnecessarily.
True that.
I don't need that. That ain't gonna help me out. Like, come on, man. But I think that when it comes to the faith, though, it's a personal thing also. You know, like, you kind of just don't have to. I don't have to explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I believe in it. It's not for you. It's for me. If you think it's crazy, you think it's crazy. Do it over there.
Yeah. You know? That's funny, man. You talk about, like, you talk to other people about it. Man. I had a customer just ask me just yesterday, Thursday. He's like, Jerry, man, what you think about that Bitcoin thing, man? I don't know, dog. I was like, hey, man.
Is this somebody you knew already?
Yeah, somebody I know. You know, somebody I see on a regular basis. And we always talking. We always kicking it. He's a business owner. You know, young guy. He's our age. And, you know, he owns a printing shop out in Southfield. So he's a very cool guy. So he's like, man, he got into, like, Bitcoin probably like 7-8 months ago. And he got out. His father was kind of like, yo, son, I think that's some BS. I wouldn't do it. You know, if you do it like this route. Don't actually buy the physical. Don't actually buy, like, the token itself or the coin itself. Just buy such and such. You know, it's like more of like a stock, right, for like Bitcoin. So he did that, made a little bit of money, got out. He's like, man, I don't know, I'm scared about it. It's like my friends, they all into it, man, but it's like me, I don't know where it's gonna go. It doesn't seem real to me. Now I'm like, at that point, like you have to educate yourself, because what doesn't seem real to you doesn't mean that it's not real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because it doesn't seem real to you, that doesn't mean it's not helping out other people way on the other side of the world, or either like in our same country, or either our same state. It's the fact that we don't want to miss out on opportunity that's right there knocking at your door, right? Just because you won't research it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going off of what the friends
You're going off
from what I heard.
Yeah. So his friends are into it, but he's kind of like, I don't know. And that's cool, because I would rather have a little bit of money in something that I don't mind losing than not having no money in it and to actually, like skyrocket it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, what if this 200, well, say this is hypothetically, $200 to $2,000 or $20,000, wherever your budget is, whatever is no money to you. No money for you might be 20 grand. Exactly. You might just be like, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Can't wait
20 grand, you throw away. You wipe your ass for 20 grand. That's throwing down the toilet.
I can't wait.
And then you like that 20 grand in there. Next thing you know, a year later, man, that 20 grand worth $250,000. You like, damn.
Right.
Okay, or maybe it's worth $400,000. Like, damn, that's crazy.
Exactly.
There was a guy that put over the course of last year, put like $5 grand into Litecoin, and when Litecoin hit his peak, he done made $20,000. His account was up $200,000.
There you go.
So that's crazy, man.
There you go. If you got the 5K to drop in there, but yeah,
but he did it every week, $100 every week.
The point is, right? You got to believe in it because you believe in it. Don't rely on what everybody else is doing. And I know it's difficult to do because that's kind of where we are in society nowadays. With like everybody's got an opinion on everything because social media is the biggest thing smoking right now. Like no matter what you're doing, everybody got something to say. Everybody got something to say about your YouTube video. Everybody got something to say about your Instagram post. Everybody got a comment on your Facebook post. Yeah. And I mean, depending on who you are, what type of person you are, that can affect the way that you move forward with the thing that you presented to the world that you're supposedly having faith in to be the thing that's going to take you a little further in business or whatever the case may be. And you can't, my suggestion is social media is fake as shit. Like the whole thing is just fake, man. That's what it is, man. That's just what it is. You got to take it all with not even with a grain of salt. Brick of salt. It's all bullshit on there, man, because everybody has an agenda and you don't know what it is, whether it's true support or whether it's fake support because they want to attach themselves to you when it actually pops, or whether it's just hate because people didn't think of it before you did. Yeah. I know that was a lot. That I just said right there.
No, I get you, man, because even like softwares, like a lot of people got like a product to sell. People can be selling like, could show out a bunch of posts about whatever and warm you up, and then hey, here's this product. You know what I'm saying? Whether it could be like, I don't know, go watch a video like we watch, like what are we doing?
Right. Or
it could be like, hey, I'm selling pies or I'm baking cookies. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got some such for sale. I think that's just like maybe more of a lot of the stuff that we see is like for like business related opportunities, because I think we're getting out of like so much of the career phase, or the career world, but more into like a gig society. Yeah. And people may be a little bit happier, maybe a little less stability, but people will have like maybe they feel more independent and feel like they're making moves like in a gig society.
Flexibility to move around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, not originally, but previously it wasn't like that. He was bogged down with the shift. You got to be here from this hour to this hour.
Yeah.
No breaks, no vacations, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like maybe starting with our generation, maybe a little bit before, I'm not sure, but our generation for sure. On down. It's more of the, okay, I'm going to do this, but I need something that's going to give me the opportunity to go do this, this, and this at the drop of a dime. You know, I'm not bad.
Yeah.
I can actually appreciate that because, like we just talked about toward the beginning, there are times where I feel like I had an idea, boom, I want to go do that right now.
Right.
Can I go do it?
Right.
Well, yeah, if you're working on a line at a plant, no. You know what I'm saying? So, saying all that to say, if you are in one of those positions, that's a difficult thing to do too, especially if you have a mentality where you feel like it has some solid lockdown, but just having the faith to know, all right, this is what I'm doing. It's not going to be like this forever, but I have to make these sacrifices early to put the building blocks together to build this one situation.
Right.
Or however many situations you got going on. It's important. You know, like podcasts, like we're not spending too much time outside of something that we should be or have to be doing right now. But trust and believe, we both could find something else to be doing. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's getting rest because you've been out all day, or whether it's
hanging out, go out to dinner with the fam.
Anything. And that stuff is quality too, you know, but you know, you putting something together to make it happen and see, just see what happens, man.
And you know, this for me, this is like therapy. Like real talk, this is me doing something that I'm passionate about. It's kind of like a therapy to get away from like maybe like regular life stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so like, hey, get out here, let me do this. So hopefully this could grow into something that's really good, right?
Yeah.
And then we could not just be where they see us at, but maybe we could take a trip to Asia. Maybe we could go to Australia. Maybe we could go to Africa, and we have meetings or talk or interview, you know, cool individuals, man. You know, let's get some dope stuff.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. Just growing and expanding and doing the thing that you want to do and having the faith to do it. And once those things starts coming about, you know, that'll bring on a whole nother level of I guess, a testing of your faith, you know? Like, okay, well, here's another opportunity that's being presented. Y'all made it past the stages of, you know, preliminary stages, I should say, of recording to self, uploading to self, all of that. But here we go. We got a new opportunity for you. Y'all ready to do this, you know? And then at that point, it's another test.
Ready.
It's like, you know, okay, all right, well, let's do it.
Sure.
Or not, if you're scared. Not you, but just, you know, man, like, that's just the way that it works.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man. Saying all that to say, like, you just should basically just be ready for all opportunities. Sometimes you'll be called to do something that you might not want to do. And this isn't even a spiritual thing, even though it does kind of correlate. But you might be called to do something that you don't want to do. Because my opinion, and people think differently. I don't think that I know that I'm not 100% in control of everything that happens or what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're not, dog. You're right.
You just kind of let it rock.
Yeah.
You know, you work on what you work on, but when things don't go your way, I mean, I think that's kind of why I got an attitude of when things don't go my way, I don't get too stressed out about that.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, you ain't like that. You got the pooty face.
Yeah, but
no, man, I can't. I'm sorry.
Even if I was, I'm not gonna sound like that. Like, you know, who man's this?
Who man's is
This sound crazy as hell, but nah, we're not gonna do that. That's not how it goes, man. But no, I think that it's important, man, that you just, for lack of better term, trust the process.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
But then with the process, you gotta have a plan.
You gotta have
a plan.
You can't just sit on the couch and like the old Divide commercials.
Yeah,
What's it?
yeah.
No, it's Everest. Remember the dude? Like, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You might as well get up.
Yeah.
Get up. You're sitting on the couch, eating
right.
potato chips, broke as hell, fat as hell. You ain't doing nothing.
No, I wonder. I've never met anybody that went to that college though. For real.
I don't know.
They was putting out a lot of ass.
Them boys still probably come on there. We don't be home.
They can't come on no more.
We don't be home during the day.
Do Everest still exist?
I do.
I don't know, bro.
Remember the one with the girl?
Yeah, I forgot what that was. Was that Everest too?
It was Everest. She was a nurse. She was talking bad. She was killing the dudes. Like, she's like, it's like, ladies, you got a sorry ass nigga at the crib. He wants you to pay all the bills. The nigga eating all the food out the refrigerator. You see this nigga right here. You better get up. You better get you some. Shit was crazy. I got a baby and shit. Shit was crazy, man. But yeah, It's funny, but it's not. But yeah, that's how it goes, man. That's how it be, man. What you got going on over there, man? Hey, you got a text message?
No, dog. I'm trying to see if Everest College still exists.
It probably does, man. Why you do that? I'm gonna crack this too hard because I assume you don't want it. You want
That's the last one?
He want. Yeah, look at it.
You need to share, bro.
He want enough, man. I got a beer bottle, man. Reach up in there, girl. You.
Okay. Everest still exists, dog.
No, it still exists. The commercials too expensive.
I just saw something that said average salary after attending the college is $20,000.
After attending there?
I don't know if it's there, dog, but it said after attending college is $20,600. That's not accurate.
I mean, well, it might be because just attending the college don't mean you graduated that motherfucker.
That's true.
Did one semester.
That's true.
And got pregnant.
That's true.
Got pregnant. Or you might have got
this work is too hard.
DQ'd, not DQ'd. Academic probation, and then you got kicked out.
Oh, average salary after attending undergrad is $20,600. That's 2013, though. Anyways.
Yeah, who put that together?
Anyways, I was just a little curious, man, if ever still existed, if anybody's actually going there.
It might be. So yeah, man, I was watching The Breakfast Club, or listening to rather, earlier this week, and I was talking to Michael Blackson, and the topic wasn't
a bitch ass nigga.
yeah, motherfucker, like it wasn't even really about the subject matter wasn't even what the focus wasn't what I took from it. I just heard a point in time where he was talking about maybe the Monique situation, I guess he was referencing. He was saying he's going to go to do his own special. He's going to set it up. He's going to shoot it, edit it, package it, and present it for it to be maybe sold to one of the streaming services or whatever. And he just said, he's like, man, I'm going to just go do it. And that's kind of, stop being a bitch about it is what he almost said. I think he may have even said it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know why I drew that from everything else he was talking about, but that was kind of like the thing that kind of pushed me, at least for that moment. Just saying, man, like, look, you got to start doing these things. Well, not start, but these things that you're thinking about currently, just do them and make them happen and stop being afraid of the unknown or what might happen, especially if it's not going to necessarily set you back.
I agree 100%, dog. 100%, man, because you feel like we only got one life, dog. We got stuff that we want to do. We want to leave a mark, dog, have a legacy, and we got to do what we think is actually important for us. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to do it.
It's important to make something important to leave for the next generation, or at least